Hi, I'm Mandy and I have a new Gas One portable dual fuel camp stove because I am really tired of eating cold camping meals. The fire did not quite work out, but for the first time I'm using my camp stove and it works and it did not blow up in my face. I'm going to show you how to put it together and how to use it because it took me a really long time to figure it out. It's a bit tricky. So I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do it. This stove uses both butane fuel and propane, which is great because from my research, propane is more efficient, but the butane is in a smaller canister that is easy to carry. So it's nice to have the option to do both. Just note that with the butane, you can only use an 8.8 ounce container. The brand doesn't matter, it just has to be 8.8 ounces. And in the propane, you really need to get the 16 ounce. No other size container is going to fit. I'm going to start with the butane first because it is super simple, and the propane is the one that gets tricky. Okay, to do the butane, we're going to pop down this side piece. And it should come with two attachments. These attachments are for the propane, so we're going to set those aside. Okay, we're going to take the cap off of the butane container, and there is a lip here in the canister, and that lip is going to fit right into this piece right here. And this piece right here is going to go right inside of this. Once you have the canister resting, you're going to pull this button on the front down where it says fuel lock. When you do that, it's going to lock the canister into place so that it's not going to pop out while you're cooking. You can close the side, and we're ready to turn it on. You're going to turn the button to the left until you hit the little lightning bolt, and it has an auto ignition. It is going to start right away. And there you go. No lighter is needed. It's a little hard to see the blue flame during the day, but you can definitely feel it. This switch only goes about 2/3 of the way up before the fuel turns off altogether. So this would be high, and this would be about as low as it will go. And if you go any further, it will go off. And now we're off. Okay, to release the butane, we're just going to do that in reverse. This side does get stuck, so if you have to give it a bit of a pull, that happens, that's okay. So we're going to move the switch to the unlock position. That releases the can. We can just lift it right out and put the cap on. Okay, the propane has a few more steps. So we're going to get our canister and the two pieces that it came with. Starting with this little one, just like the can of butane, it has a lip that is going to go right into that same slit, and this hole in the front is going to do what the can of butane did and just pop right inside. So that is going to look like this. And I turned it to the right to lock it in. You can see on the back it has a little sticker that says turn to the left to unlock and to the right to lock. So we want to turn it to the right. We do not need the lock and unlock fuel button. That is only for the butane fuel. We won't need that for the propane. Next, we're going to use this piece here. We're going to take this white protective cap off. We don't need that. But don't discard it, just set it aside because you'll want to put it back on when you're done. This is what the inside is going to look like. Now from here, we can close the lid, and we're going to connect the regulator into the adapter piece that we just connected. When you're putting on the regulator, when you first stick it in, you can wiggle it left and right a little until it gets to a position where it stands up on its own. You'll feel it pop in a little bit, and then you can turn the gold knob on the top, and you want to turn that until there is no more thread left in the back. Just keep turning. You're going to be turning for quite a while. When you get maybe about halfway through the threads, you're going to feel a little resistance, and it's going to feel like you should stop, like you've reached the end of what it will go. Just keep going and going until you can look in the little square opening and see that there are no more threads left. And on the outside, you should see a couple gold threads and then one silver thread. That will let you know that you've connected it enough. And double check by hand tightening it. Just make sure that it is not going to come loose. You don't want any gas escaping. A gas leak is going to be really dangerous. Now we have our regulator set up. We can now take the cap off our propane. And this hole right here at the top of the canister is going to slide right into the mating piece on the regulator that we uncovered whenever we took off the white screw cap. When you do this, you will get a slight release of air that is going to come out of this little side hole. Don't let that startle you. It startled me. That's normal. It's just releasing a little pressure. It's going to do that both when you connect it and when you disconnect it. Okay, that sometimes takes a couple tries. I'm standing behind it and I was turning it to the right. So if it won't go in, you might be turning it the wrong direction. Now that we have the canister connected, we're going to go back to the gold nut here, and we're just going to tighten it to make sure it did not come loose while we were screwing in the canister and creating some movement there. It's now ready to turn on and to make a delicious hot meal.